And a good Saturday afternoon to you folks. I'm Tom from Vica here. We're going to talk a little bit about weather. Got some changes coming for Mother's Day, of course, and earlier changes that I didn't anticipate, and not for the better. 79 degrees right now out at the airport. Dew point 58, still pretty marginal here. We see the clouds, mostly high and mid-level stuff, indicative of changes coming in the atmosphere. Remember, one of your basic forecasting rules is many times high and mid-level clouds coming in from the west in the northern hemisphere, and our location means that we have some weather changes coming. And we likewise see the clouds up in Gina with our Cenla Broadcasting Tower cams, 82 degrees there. And we see, again, the high clouds generally above about 12,000 feet in many locations. All right, now let's look at the radar and see what's happening. Nothing happening here in Cenla. We're starting to see a few little showers popping up down there around the Houston area. And let's see, out toward, not quite to San Antonio, but right in the Houston metro, over toward Austin. Pretty good storms in portions of West Texas where there's been some warnings out of that here already for today. In fact, when you click those on, you can see some of the warnings in that direction. So what's happening is, and as a forecaster, that is an indication that we're seeing changes develop in the atmosphere as a feature aloft. Remember, those guys lift the atmosphere, and that's what creates weather changes and rain and thunderstorms. It's on the way. So the lift is on the way, and that factor which is creating the rain in that direction will be operating here for tomorrow, and another one will keep it going into Monday. You see the clouds thickening also across Texas. There's that little storm complex out west where some of those warnings are. Not much here, except just some high and mid-level clouds. In fact, we had a little bit more sunshine today than I thought we would. The front is down in the Gulf, and that will kind of ease back as a warm front coming back in the area this later this weekend and early next week. Futurecast, this is for Sunday morning. Already some action going on early. I think that stays non-severe. I know this kind of actually maybe a break around church time. Hope we can get that. And then once we get in today, we see another area of showers and thunderstorms. The action begins to pick up Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening with these shapes of the storm cloud right there. You can kind of see that radar echo, and we'll go into the evening, this one and this one over here. Not an exact location, folks. Don't put much stock into that, but it shows the potential. So we once again have an environment which is going to be unstable. We're going to have a warm front in the vicinity. We have deep layer wind shear from about the surface to 18, 20,000 feet. And that kind of builds and sculpts storms. And usually what it does, it has a little bit of a tendency to sculpt supercell thunderstorms. I don't think this is a real high, dangerous supercell type thing, but there will be a few supercells maybe, or mixed modes of convection, enough to bring us a severe weather threat and some locally heavy rainfall. And even into about midnight Monday, I'm going to shut it off at that time, we still see rain and thunderstorms in the area, and of course that will continue off and on into Monday. So all this means that there is a outlook of severe weather here for Cenla, as you see a level 1 and 2 risk here across most of this part of the state. Severe threats looks like overall, again, limited. That takes into account both the level 1 and level 2. That's kind of my thing that I created there. Flood and hail risk about the same, non-zero, but kind of low. Wind, I think, will be the main thing from this, strong wind, thunderstorm wind. And we can't rule out a tornado or two out of this situation because a warm front is one of the more dangerous severe weather patterns here. This isn't a real juicy situation or a real dynamic situation, but we have to respect that warm front. So threat levels 1 out of 5 and 2 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. Wind and hail 5 to 15%, tornado risk 2%. Again, extensive research done on this indicates that within 25 miles of a point in Cenla, like your home, your school, and your work, these are the percentages of an occurrence of that type of event. So a wind event, 60 mile per hour or higher, 5 to 15%. Hail, quarter size or larger, 5 to 15%. And a tornado of any strength, 2%. Lots of lightning once again with these stronger cells, like the last thing Thursday night. So there are going to be some of these loud cells. These will be the stronger ones. And then in those particular cells, you know how high the rainfall rates. Some folks are just remarking about how high the rainfall rates were there Thursday night in place. And we're going to have the same thing with this one. Heavy rainfall rates will be possible, and certainly amounts as well. And here's a little rainfall pattern graphic for Sunday. It's both AM and PM timing for you coming in for that day. A half inch to inch and 3/4 is my guess of what might turn out to be the most common range of rainfall. So it'll be a lesser chance of that rain less than a half inch. But we could see rainfall totals of 3 to 4 inches in places. So that's pretty respectable. And I've just kind of broad stroked to 90%. I think just about everybody gets wet sometime, unfortunately, on Mother's Day. So there's your Mother's Day forecast. At one time, Mother's Day looked wonderful as far as weather, and that gives you an idea how unpredictable weather is sometimes. And as we go into Monday, showers and thunderstorms likely there. We carry severe risk into Monday as well. And then finally, Tuesday and Wednesday with a little front coming through. These features aloft, many times, especially if they're strong enough or large enough, they have a front attached to them at the surface, and all that's going to come through. Gives us a pretty good time there for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, yet another disturbance comes through, or two comes through. And once again, we're back in the rain and thunderstorms for Thursday into Friday morning. A front will kind of break that up a little bit, but I don't feel comfortable with a 0% on Saturday, so I put in 30%. You can see we've got some warm days. So Wednesday and maybe Saturday look like the warmest days. Will be in the upper 80s commonly here across the area. All right, well, happy Mom's Day. No higher calling than being a mother. We salute all of you.